So, for years, people are getting stream sniped on Twitch for Magic the Gathering Online. And you know what? There's people who bring up the debate. I don't even know why this is a debate. You know, it's sort of fair because the streamer has access to the chat and the chat can tell them everything. And I can tell you firsthand that is absolute baloney. Anyway, let's talk about Syed, who I know it's not against the rules, but while I was streaming today, I was stream sniped. Instantly put a damper on the stream. I just want to say that behavior is toxic for content creators. I feel so much worse about the average Magic player, and I hate feeling that way. And I mean, these are the situations where they probably caught somebody. I mean, how about all the times where you don't catch somebody, like they're not in the chat with the same username as they have on Magic the Gathering Online, or they're viewing the chat anonymously. Like, so first off, it's terrible. It crushes your win rate to be streaming, but it even crushes your win rate to be reading the chat. I can tell you, when I started streaming, just having to read the chat was a massive disadvantage. And yes, every so often, chat comes up with a really good idea, but it doesn't compensate for all the little misplays I make throughout a turn, throughout all my matches, because I have to divide my attention between the game and reading the chat. So yeah, it just puts the nail in the coffin when someone is looking at my hand, especially in a game like Magic where hidden information is everything. It is a colossal advantage that is never going to be made up for with chat, which is why a lot of big streamers, they don't like to stream the bigger events. And so personally for me as a content creator, I just know it's part of the job. All right, I know they're gonna stream snipe me, and with that, I mean, if they want to stream snipe me in the league, so be it. They stream snipe me. You're scum. But I make sure that I protect myself in the bigger events that are going to go long, because it would be a huge waste of time to play a modern challenge and get one person stream snipe me and waste my entire 7 to 8 hours. It would be terrible. So I put a hand blocker up. I always put the hand blocker up. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. And so, Harry MTG says, it's Wizards of the Coast responsibility to ban these people. Streaming on delay or a hand hider hurts the category and makes everyone's content worse. Again, another thing that other games do that Magic doesn't. And I think what he's referring to is, when he talks about other games, he's talking about like first-person shooters. They also take advantage of stream sniping, because if you can see your opponent where they are on the map, it's a huge advantage. You can sneak straight up on them, or like they're going one way, you can go the other way to make sure that they're never going to ambush you. So they there's a lot of games where they're gonna dish out the penalties hard. You want to be cheating like that. But unfortunately, it's not going to fix everything, right? Because there's still going to be people who will do it anonymously and maybe do it smart enough not to make it super obvious that they're stream sniping. But anyway, it's a bad thing. It's unethical. You don't be stream sniping people, you people. It's bad stuff. Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome Coffee Crew to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do deck list review. So if you got a 75 you'd like some feedback on, hey, submit it to us, and both myself and the community, we'd love to give that feedback. So brew up those coffees. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for August 5th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. And it might be a little bit louder than usual because, oh my god, it's so hot in here. It's so hot. It's a bit cool outside, but it's very humid, so I gotta have the air conditioner on. Got the AC. Delicious AC. Hopefully the music muzzles it away. Good morning, Frederick. Good morning, Papa Joe, the Munchie Man, Augie DeCaser, Gold Medal, Sir Butterballs, Jackson Ledford, Rearranged. Helpful Chat, are we doing the same thing when... Helpful Chat, are we doing the same thing when we stream? I don't get it. Are we doing the same thing when... Oh, you mean like helping the chat? I don't know. Can you, good morning. Mikey J, good morning. Kai Opad. The Wall of Shame. You know what? I Wall of Shamed. So if anyone doesn't know, on Twitch, I have a command called Wall of Shame. And it's just a list of everyone that I have confirmed stream snipe me. Like, they were in my chat while the game was going on. So I put him on a wall of shame. But we caught 3 people, and we have caught no one since then. We caught them very early on. Once they heard of the wall of shame, they were extra careful. I know I'm getting stream sniped when I'm playing live. I know it. But they are being the wall of shame is well known. They don't want to be put on the wall. I haven't been able to officially catch anyone since then. Cherry Waves, good morning. Good morning, Marty. Let's see what you guys have to say. Would covering your hand help at all? Yes, I do that, but it doesn't make for a very good viewing experience for everyone out, like for everyone watching. Well, I don't know. It's debatable. I've gotten hundreds of people watching me with the hand blocker on because they're like, oh my god, what do I have? Are we ahead? Are we behind? Who knows? And they're sort of watching as a spectator that can't see anybody's hand. But there's a lot of people, they want to see your cards. They want to learn from it. So there's pros and cons. I would say more cons than pros, but I'll use the hand hider anyway. Jackson, really looking into different modern decks to find my style. Any pro tips for how to play Merfolk? All right, so as we get into this stream today, 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions. Amongst all the comments I'm going to get on YouTube channels and a Facebook fan page. Don't forget, you can cheat the system with Super Chats. Donate with a Super Chat on YouTube, and your question gets pushed to the top of the feed. Any pro tips how to play Merfolk? Play carefully. Try to play around your opponent's cards. Get a little bit of a clock going on, like at least 4 power in play. But then after that, you know, carefully consider the difference between holding interaction and playing your creatures, because it's important. The main thing you gotta understand is you can't just dump your Merfolk on the battlefield and just assume you're gonna win. Because every other deck is faster than you. Every other deck can race you. So you gotta be able to interact with your opponent in order to get your edge with Merfolk. There's a lot more pro tips than that. Please watch my channel. I got a channel dedicated to this. Used to be this channel. Go check out. If you want to see Merfolk gameplay, go check out Nikachu MTG streams. That's where all my gameplay is now. Your stream reminds me of sitting in the coffee shop with Jerry Seinfeld. That's interesting. I didn't. Oh, I see from watching the show. For any of the boomers out there that knows Seinfeld. Papa Joe, what kind of meta is Harbinger, Borrow, and Rejury played in Merfolk? All 3 of them? So it would be. So first off, I'll tell you why you want Rejury. You either need some turn 4 kills once in a while, or you need to be able to attack through big chunky blockers. Things like Gurmag Angler, Tarmogoyf, and stuff like that. Rejury helps there. You want Harbinger and Borrower. You don't always need Borrower. I like to have Borrower when it combines with Chalice of the Void and when there's Ensnaring Bridge. And I like Harbinger if I really need to tempo out my opponents. There's a lot of chunky creature-based decks out there. Death Shadow, humans, spirits, Jund. Actually, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Harbinger is actually pleasantly good against Jund. But those are the situations I think you'd want these cards. Borrower is a lot easier to say. Like, if there's a lot of Ensnaring Bridges in the format, I want Borrower. If there's not, I don't. But I have found Borrower valuable recently because if I play a Chalice on 1, it gives me some ability to bounce the 1-drops back to my opponent's hand. Also bounce Murktide to my opponent's hand. Set them way back. John Flag with the Super Chat. Thoughts on new Jund? I really like the way it looks, but I am torn on buying into Ren and 6. I think the new Jund looks great. And by new Jund, if you mean like with Ragavan and stuff, I don't know why you're a bit afraid of the Ren and 6. Well, let's see if we can find this deck. Show you guys what I see. Oh my god, we gotta go far to find a Jund deck. This is not exactly the Jund. It depends on what you mean by new Jund. I am very pleased with... Is this it? Yeah, I sort of like... There was a great Lurrus Jund deck. Where's the Lurrus Jund deck? This is not it. But Renin 6... Right now, today, very good right now. Why? Because it kills Ragavan. It can kill Dragon Rage Chandler on the earlier turns of the game. It's still good card advantage. I would say Renin 6 is very good right now. You definitely want to have your Renin 6. But where the hell is that Luris Jund deck? I don't know where it is. Was it this one? No. There was, I think it got like 28, maybe it's this. There we go. I like this list. I don't know what you considered new Jund, but for me, this is new Jund. Look, this is a Luris list. It's still got Tarmogoyf. We still got Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, all that good stuff. But we're low to the ground. We're playing with Ragavan. We're playing with Dothy Voidwalker. That's an unblockable creature. That's a one that is a Leyline of the Void on the stick, and you can steal stuff from your opponent. We're playing with Kroxa, but we're playing with Luris. So that's super card advantage. And of course, it's still running Ren and 6. This is what I consider the new Jund. I hope it's the new Jund for you. Yes with oh yeah, okay, there we go. I like this list. I like this list a lot. I would go with it. And Ren and 6 is just sort of a necessary evil. I never liked Ren and 6, to be honest. I've never been a Ren and 6 person. It has advantages against the slow matchups, but there aren't any slow matchups to use this return the land card from your graveyard to the hand. I don't know if we have slow matchups for that right now, but I think the -1 to hit the Ragavans are actually useful. So anyway, thanks for the question. Okay, the Iron Warlock. Good morning, Nikachu. I know I'm a noob at streaming, but what is stream sniping? It is okay. Well, it originally was a term to say that someone was trying to queue with you, like they could see that you're trying to jump into a game, so they would try to jump into the game at the same time to hope that they get matched up against you. But it is more associated now with just looking at your screen. Someone is streaming, you're looking at their stream, and therefore you have a lot more information than they do when you're playing against them. So it's actually gone above and beyond what its normal meaning. What do you think of Aether Spellbomb or Pirate Spellbomb in place of Mishra's Bauble in an Is It Tempo deck running Dragon Rage Channeler? I think the Pirate Spellbomb is quite useful. Oh, Aether Spellbomb is not bad either. So are you looking for a budget card in replacement? I smell budget. I get a sense someone doesn't want to buy Mishra's Bauble because maybe Mishra's Bauble costs money. So a blue, sacrifice a return target creature to its owner's hand, or you could sack it, draw a card, and Pyrite Spellbomb. You know what? Both of them are pretty good right now. I think both of them are pretty well positioned. You could play a combination of the two if you wanted to. What's Mishra's Bauble right now? It's probably some obscene price. Oh, it's not bad. You know what? It's not bad. 15 bucks. Hey, I remember when Mishra's Bauble was like $20. But anyway, you could definitely play those cards. Hewley just joined. What did I miss? What happened to Zen Side stream? He got stream sniped. He wasn't happy about it. Someone was looking at his screen. I don't know if he won or lost. Probably lost. It's usually what happens when you get stream sniped. I remember... Like, I don't want to ever say confirm 100% that they stream snipe me, because there's a lot of plays that looks like stream sniping, but they just had a different reason for why they did their thing. But there was one match, I'm up against a Storm player, and they're attacking with these Barals every single turn, and then finally they have like, I think two, like, sorry, not two Baral, they had Goblin Electromancer, Baral, because Baral's legendary, and I think maybe another Goblin Electromancer. And I was at an obscenely high life total, I think because of maybe Aria Flame or something, I'm not sure. I had a high life total for one reason or another. And they kept attacking me every turn. Attack, attack, attack. And then all of a sudden, I draw, I think, a Merfolk Trickster. I think they were attacking with two, leaving one on defense, just in case I viled something in. But the point was, they were at a very low life total. And then all of a sudden, I draw Merfolk Trickster, which can finally tap down the one blocker that they were always holding up. And then suddenly, they left up two blockers. Oh, how convenient. You're attacking me for 4 turns in a row with 2 creatures, and then all of a sudden, you hold up an extra blocker when I have given you no like, the board state didn't change turn after turn after turn. The only explanation I could think of is maybe they ran out of removal at that point. They left up one blocker because they had they had like a lightning bolt in hand every turn. But like, it was very sus. It was very sus. Oh, Seal of Fire is a good one too, actually. Isn't that right? Yeah. Well, they usually prove stream snipe. Their username on Magic the Gathering Online is the same as someone's username in chat. Because you can look up everyone in chat. You can like open up the chat and look up usernames. And someone in chat might have said, hey, this guy's in the chat. Did you lose? Yes. Then you were stream sniped. Yeah, exactly. I think a couple of weekends ago, Gabriel Nassif got stream sniped twice in 2 weekend challenges. Like that sucks. Like, the thing is, getting sniped in a league, I don't care as much because whatever. It's, I know I'm only going to spend like about 2 hours on the league anyway, one way or another. It's low stakes. I'm not playing for anything big. But when you play a challenge, you're in it for like 7 hours. Like, this isn't 1.5 to 2 hours. You're in it for 7 hours, no matter what deck you play, because the tournament goes as long as the tournament goes. Doesn't matter how quickly you can end the matches. And the stakes are higher. You got to put up 30 bucks. So you just get screwed over when like you'll need to lose one round in that challenge to ruin the whole thing, because you would like crush your chances of making top 8. I remember once in a Croaky stream, he drew an Ember Cleave and then opponent conceded out of nowhere. You see? You see? Let's see. Oh, what is the situation? Oh, yeah, I mean, you got to be here at the beginning. It was just, Zen, I don't know how to present his last name. I think it's Syed. I know it's not against the rules, but while I was streaming today, I was stream sniped, instantly put a damper on the stream, and I just want to say that behavior is toxic for content creators, and also usually gets the chat pissed. Like, oh, they're cheating, they're ruining the game. Like, the chat gets really riled up too. And it's been going on for a while now, and there should be some harsh penalties for this. Like, you shouldn't have access to your opponent's hand. Like, for the longest time, they've let multiple people basically coach each other on the same account. That has happened since the beginning of Magic the Gathering Online. So, you know, getting access to chat. By the way, getting access to chat, in my opinion, is not an advantage. It is either neutral or a disadvantage. And if anyone sees me play the Modern Challenge, you know I put the chat away. I don't read it because it's just a distraction. I will play the Modern Challenge way better without it. And Wizards, there's not, well, you know, one reason I'd like to bring this up is because Wizards isn't doing fuck all about it. We got to start banning those people. We got to say that there are penalties for stream sniping, blatant stream sniping. Now, of course, it's still going to happen because it's really, I don't know if there's any true way to enforce this on Wizards' part, because you can, like, you can just watch this person's chat anonymously and they'll never know. Thunderous Wrath and Burn? I don't know. This one, Thunderous Wrath. Oh no, it's this isn't a very good card. You have to Miracle this. If you have this in your opening hand, this is a huge stinker. It's basically unplayable. It's like you're down a card. It's like you mulliganed. It's a problem. Space Marine streamers shouldn't have access to the chat. Of course, you say it's not beneficial. You benefit from it. No, I don't. And like I said, when it comes to Modern Challenges, I put the chat away. You probably have. People don't realize this until they start streaming. But when your attention is constantly divided between reading chat and playing the game, you will play the game so much worse. You make so many more inaccuracies. Like you constantly make punts. You constantly like missequence everything. You don't play optimally at all because you're constantly reading chat. You're constantly reading chat. And not to mention, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but reading is like really draining. Like, can anyone out there read for like 10 hours straight? So you're like, the part of being a streamer is reading constantly while playing a game. Fury price went up? Interesting. By the way, I can see some people are asking questions. Remember, put the question marks, people. Like, Cad Opad. Hold on. Is there a modern Miracles deck that isn't jank? Not yet. At the moment, no. Well, let's go to mtgstocks.com. My favorite place for the most obscene graphs on MTG Finance. We're looking up Fury. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What, I can't look up Fury? Like, how do I look up Fury on this site? The problem is there's too many Furies. And I'm already here. What do I do? Yeah, it went up. We go to MT. Oh, no, our new place for. They have more reliable graphs here. Magic the Gathering Online. Fury's almost $20. Tabletop. Ooh, it's spiked to 22. True story. Fury, underrated card. GP testing out 3 natural state in the sideboard for Simic folks. Pretty decent so far in my local meta. Any thoughts? Hey, if it works, it works. It's a sideboard card, and it's a good sideboard card. It's decent. Don't forget to drink some coffee, Coffee Crew. Good morning, Ventrix. Maybe streamers, as bad as it sounds, have to add sub-only view mode during tournaments, if only, but that would kill them. That would just kill their, like, the fact that it's free is what makes it worth it. By the way, if it's worth it to the opponent, they'll just sub for $5. Like, it's not that big of a deal, and then they get the money, and then they get the information. If only Twitch had a follower-only mode with no option to join during the tournament. What is this fall? Oh, you with no option to join during the tournament, so you like lock it in. No, but that doesn't help either, because you could still be following a lot of the big streamers, and then you still just join in. Oh no option to join. I think this is too complicated, because you start the stream, 100 people show up, and then after that nobody can join for the rest of the day. So it doesn't quite work out. Mikey J, people can't even read their own cards, let alone read for 10 hours. That's right. I easily play at 80% when I'm streaming. I feel like I play at 50%. I sold mine at $5, but pulled another one, so I don't care. There you go. I don't know. I don't like the idea of selling these playable mythics at $5. Daniel N. Tompkins, what is more important to have in a Karn board? Is the current meta Damping Sphere or Void Mirror? For your information, I don't own a Chalice. The thing is, Void Mirror hits you, right? You're a Karn deck. So probably you want the Damping Sphere. But oh, if you need a replacement to Chalice, probably you should have Void Mirror. But make sure, I guess it's important that you are a regular Tron deck, because you have access to green mana to cast your stuff anyway. Nick Lopez, any good recommendation? Anti-life gain for Boros, Death and Taxes. Also, it's nice to catch your stream outside of work. Any good recommendation for anti-life gain for Boros? Okay, what do you guys recommend? Okay, Coffee Crew, this is where you come alive. What is anti-life gain? It's got to be in red, I guess. We're looking for anti-life gain cards. I think Roiling Vortex is the only thing I can think of, but the problem is it's not a creature. So is there any red creatures that prevent the opponent from gaining life? Like, what do you got out there, people? Yeah, but it's a Death and Taxes deck. So Skullcrack is a card. But it's like a one-shot thing. Oh, Ramp. Oh, that's a good one. That's actually a very good one. Rampaging Frostodon. So you got this 3/3 creature menace. Players can't gain life. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield, Rampaging Frostodon deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield. Oh, so does that hit you too? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to that. Oh, I guess it hits you too. Forgot about that. But whatever. It's still a good card. That stupid dinosaur. That's right. The red ley line. Maybe it's okay. Ley line of combustion, I think it is. Whenever you... No. There's another one, is it? Oh yeah, here we go. Ley line of punishment. Players can't gain life, damage can't be prevented. But again, in Death and Taxes, I think the Rampaging Frostodon is the perfect one. You can play it with Vile, and your opponent doesn't gain life. You also might deal a lot of damage to yourself, though. Everlasting Torment. Does not sound like a creature. That players can't... Oh, but it's not a very affordable enchantment. This is the best one, hands down. This card used to be banned. It was banned in Standard at the time. That's how good it is. That's a great suggestion, Coffee Crew. You did your job. You did it, Coffee Crew. You did it. All right. What am I missing here? Here, I want to give a little attention to the people on Facebook. Salmon Howley, hi Nikachu, what are your thoughts on Master of the Pearl Trident and Svelun on Arena? Will you stream a bit of Magic the Gathering Arena? I'll stream a little bit, not a lot, but I'll stream a little bit. So the deal is, like, yeah, it's a huge boost to Merfolk, and of course they'll bring out Tide Shaper from Modern Horizons 2, so we're gonna get Island Walk online for Merfolk for Arena, but I have no idea if Merfolk is still gonna be good. This format gonna get rocked hard. Two of the most powerful sets ever are getting dumped into Historic. It's just gonna completely change everything, just like it's changed Modern. Modern's unrecognizable. Let's see, what do we got here? We may have to go deep to get more questions. What if chat is stream sniping and then coaching you on the right plays? That actually is very possible, which is why I don't want... There was a time... There's some situations where chat wants me to take my hand blocker off, because this is true. There are situations chat wants me to take my hand blocker off because they know my opponent is honorable. But the problem is, I don't want to, because I know my opponent's chat will not be so honorable. And also, by the way, in very competitive formats, like in the most important tournaments, you are not allowed to, how do I put it? This only applies when it's like stream snipe. This mostly applies when it's like, how do I put it? Streamer versus streamer. It's not streamer versus non-streamer, because my chat can't watch a random person. It only happens when there's two streamers. And in that case, I guess they both get the benefit of cheating. But anyway, in the bigger events, I turn my chat off. Or I don't turn the chat off, I just put it away, so I can't see it. What's your favorite format and top 3 pet decks you use? My favorite format is Modern, and it's Merfolk. I just play Merfolk. So my number 1 deck, Mono Blue Merfolk. My number 2 deck, Simic Merfolk. My number 3 deck, Bant Merfolk. Hope that was helpful enough. I'm a Merfolk master after all. Question about strategy. In a Merfolk mirror, what do you side in and out? I side out. You want to side in anything that has to do with permanence. Like, you want to side out anything that doesn't do anything with permanents. I side out the counter spells. They're trash. And I bring in anything that's a creature or interaction. That's important. Do not side out Lord of Atlantis. That is a mistake. Do not play your Lord of Atlantis on turn 2, but you need the Island Walk to push through the damage and get unblockable creatures at a random point in the game. So you play Lord of Atlantis like a 4-drop. Do not side out that Lord of Atlantis. That is a mistake. OnlyFans, I don't know what this is referring to. At first I thought you were gonna ask me if I have an OnlyFans. Not yet. Is there any interest in me getting an OnlyFans? Innistrad spoilers start today? Okay, then we might not start the Innistrad spoilers today, but probably tomorrow. Okay, no. Where are these questions? Okay, Matthew Bell. People don't see that having streamers is good for the game. Yes, it's very good for the game. Every popular game has a big streaming meta. In my opinion, streamers should not look at chat for big events, and Wizards needs to punish snipers. For the big events, it's against the rules for looking at your chat. You gotta have, like, emote-only mode. I don't know if the Modern Challenge is considered a big enough event. It's a big enough event for me. I still stand by, like, I don't think reading chat is that beneficial. It's like talking to somebody constantly. Well, it's like playing on the Pro Tour. It's like playing on the Pro Tour. I'm up against an opponent, and they are thinking very carefully, quietly. They have no distractions, and then I've got someone beside me saying, "Hey, how's it going? How's your day? Hey, why did you play this and not that? Hey, what do you think of this card?" And like, yeah, I'm the streamer, so I'm welcome to answer all this. But I'm like, hey, I'm playing a game here. Don't you see I'm playing on the Pro Tour? No. But anyway, well, I mean that comes with the job. So there, one side gets to think very carefully without any distractions. The other side gets tons of distractions. But that's the job of the streamer. This is the sacrifice you have to make to become a streamer. Beglaws, Nikachu, what is your opinion on replacing 2 Mutavault with 2 Riptide Laboratory in a mono blue wizard heavy Merfolk build? Tideshaper is also a wizard. P.S. Shout out to my friend Andreas, probably watching. I would say 1 Riptide is fine, 2 is not, because you can't benefit off of multiple Riptides in play, or it'd be very hard to. And Mutavault I still think is too valuable to throw away. So I would replace, if I still actually think the Mutavault's worth more than the Riptide Laboratory. But you are welcome to play a Riptide Laboratory, I think, over 1 Mutavault if you really want to. Should I trade sell my Ragavans because it'll probably get banned? The question is, do you need it? If you don't need it, sell them. If you need it, you just gotta eat it. If you need it, you gotta eat it. I mean, you can't not play Ragavan in a deck. Like, if you're playing a deck with Ragavan, you just need to play this card. And you're just gonna have... It's not gonna go to 0 when it gets banned. Let me put it that way. It's not gonna go to 0. It's gonna get hit hard, but it's not gonna go to 0. Because this card might be legal for a year. And if it's legal for a year, think of all the tournaments you're gonna play without Ragavan. But if you're not playing this card, sell into the hype now. You know, the card can still get higher. Like, this card can go this card can go over $100, people. So it still has room to grow. But I'm a competitive player. You gotta just stick to the card until it gets banned. Like, if you want to win tournaments, you want your edge, you gotta just diamond hands it. Diamond hands to the grave. Will Ragavan really get banned, though? Is there anything in the format that's dominating and ruining the whole format? When you play against these Ragavan decks, I mean, they just push so far ahead. It's like a subtle advantage that's hard to recognize because of the mana. Like, they hit you with Ragavan, they get the treasure token, which is really just a Lotus Petal, and then very quickly, not quickly, incrementally over the course of like 3 or 4 turns, you're so far ahead in tempo over your opponent because you've played more spells. It doesn't feel overpowering, but the advantage is just too strong. It's definitely... if you want to ask me if it's a bannable card, absolutely. Look what it does for 1 mana! You show me another card that does an obscene number of these things for 1 mana. Okay, 1 mana. It's a 2/1 creature, which is a pretty good... Look how far we've come. Wait, what is the thing? What is it? Savannah Lions? Once upon a time, cards... No, let's not even look at Savannah Lions. Let's look at... What's it called? Jackal Pup. What's Jackal? Once upon a time, this is what a 1 red mana 2/1 creature looked like. Whenever Jackal Pup was dealt damage, it dealt that much damage to you! What happened? What happened? We don't even have the damage clause on this fucking thing. There's no damage clause on this thing. So, you gain mana to play 3-drop cards on turn 2. You get card advantage from stealing your opponent's cards. And you have the option to pay 1 more mana and has haste. You look clear in my eye and say that's fair. You stare at me in my eye and say that's fair. This is the original. This is originally what a 2/1 creature for 1 red mana got you. Even like, well, anyway, it's yeah, it's pushed. Like it's really pushed. It's a pretty push card. I don't think they'll... It's not a... It's the type of card that's going to be like Uro. It's not an emergency ban card. Like, we're gonna live with Monkey for a while. It's not an emergency ban card. It's the type of card that they would ban after a year. After enough Ragavan decks, or maybe at the top of the metagame, this is where it would be. Maybe even 2 years, I don't know. I should say, it's not guaranteed to be banned. But this is a bannable card. Okay, we got a super chat. Augie DeCaser, thank you so much for the super chat. Is Emrakul still playable in Tron? Also, how do you feel about Baby Emrakul in Modern? Baby Emrakul is fine. I don't really see Emrakul playable in Tron. It's just too expensive. If you have 15 mana, you probably should be winning some other way. Like, even getting... You know, also I should say, people are close to dead even when Tron has 10 mana up, and they play Ulamog. So the fact that you have... I think it's too hard to get to 15 mana and say that, like, this is a reliable win condition. It's just too difficult. Now, Baby Emrakul is more playable, but only because it costs 2 less mana. It's a playable card. I don't know if it's playable in Tron, though. Because, like, Ulamog shuts the game off, usually. I mean, that's why they play Ulamog. Ceaseless Hunger. Like, this... Like, okay, instead... That's why they play Ulamog over Emrakul, because if you play Ulamog, which will come down 2 turns earlier than Emrakul... It will neutralize the board by exiling 2 cards, and with, like, basically 2 attacks, your opponent's dead. Either their life total is gone, or their deck is gone. So, that's why they play the Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, in Tron. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. And thanks for the super chat. And we got another super chat. Chris Williams. Westgate Regent good or overpriced fodder? Westgate, ooh. I thought when you said overpriced, I thought it was going to be expensive. It costs nothing. Yeah, it's probably overpriced fodder. Flying Ward, discard a card whenever it deals combat damage to a player that put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Yeah, it's too expensive. 5 mana. In Modern, eh. I mean, yeah, only in Modern, though. I mean, this could see play in Standard. It could see play in... Oh, I definitely can see play in Commander. But for Modern, for sure, not even close. Barnabas, Corum, is it mostly mythics that add to a collector's collection, or is it having all the cards? Is it mostly mythics that add to a collector's collection, You know what? I don't think people collect all the cards like they used to. And it depends on a collector. You know, most people collect the old cards now. Like if people collect, they go after very old expensive card. Let's go back to MTG stocks. Like they're after these old reserve list cards. Underground Sea. Oops. I didn't write that right. And they're not really mythics, they're just old. Like there's a lot of mythics that are worthless, you know? So this thing is like 950 bucks. Then there's like Gaia's Cradle. This is like $1,000. What other things are people collect? There's they go after. Come on, chat, help me. I want stuff that's not a reserve list card. Like, what are other collectible cards that are not reserve list that are pretty hotly demanded? But it's more like when people collect, they are pretty often going after reserve list cards. Alpha Shivan Dragon. There we go. Well, yeah, there we go. So we got Shivan Dragon. So, but this also still fits down in the old card. So this card has been reprinted a million times. It's worthless. It's like 35 cents. But if you look at the original printing in Alpha, it's $7,000. What the fuck? Or sorry, it's $6,000. Jeez. For this stupid 5/5 for 6 mana. I actually thought Shivan Dragon was 5 mana. I guess I was mistaken with Sarah Angel. Onslaught fetches in foil. There we go. Actually, let's look up one. Let's look up a Polluted Delta. So there are some rare foils that people go after. So this was a newer printing, but again, the older cards, they fetch a pretty penny. Look at the old card is $110. This is the same card. Same card, people. See, here's the newer printing, $53. Older printing, $110. But then if we look at the foil price, oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, this is what it's... I don't know what the market... I don't know what people are buying it for, but it's on the market for like $3 grand. So I mean, this is what people collect. I mean, when we talk about collecting in Magic the Gathering, we're really actually talking about like collecting almost has the same sense of investing, because people rarely collect cards anymore. Because if they're going to collect cards, they don't want to waste their money usually. I collect Thieving Magpies. I've been collecting masterpieces for the most... Oh yeah, there's masterpieces. Those are going pretty well. Look at the Ether. I know I've been following Ether Vial. Not this one, the masterpiece. There's no graph here. Graph, please. And it's going for like $244-ish. Guru lands. Super old-fashioned land. I don't know how... Guru Island. This is like an old rare. I don't know how to look up Guru Island on here. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Tidebinder mages. Yeah, well, this is just me. I'm buying again. Tidebinder mage diamond. 2 ticks. Time for me to buy up all the Tidebinder mages again. It was as high as 25 ticks, or 50, was it the high as 50? Where did it go? Magic, yeah, it spiked because of me, because I own like 440 of them. So it got as high as 40.4 ticks. It got as high as 0.4 ticks. Should have sold some. Anyway, it crashed hard. Now it's back to nothing. Thank you. Thank you, MTG speculators and economy. I'm going to buy up those Tidebinder mages again. I'm going to get to 1,000 Tidebinder mages. There's going to be a huge supply shock on that damn thing. Jeweled Lotus. That's like an oddity, right? Oh, I don't know if people collect this. This is something like just people want to own, because it's like such a commander staple. I collect legendary creatures, and while I love playing commander, I hate that it has done to what it has done to legendary creatures for 10. Oh yeah, so oh wow, you got fucked hard. Commander became a thing. $1 legendary cards go to 20 bucks, right? So here's a question. Is there anything out there that you guys collect, like Forma Sussel here? Forma Sussel collects legendary creatures. To some extent, I collect foil thieving magpies from Urza's Destiny. I like them. I like them in any language. Send me your foil Urza's Destiny thieving magpies. Just to show you what I'm talking about. Like, I own a good pile of these. I don't go super out of my way, but I'll look, like, you know, if I'm shopping on a store anywhere, I'll be like, okay, how many thieving magpies do you have from Urza's Destiny and foil? And they got a few. I'm gonna pick some up. So I gotta, do I have the binder here? No, I don't, but I got a page of these things. So what do you guys collect? Like, legitimately collect? I collect cards drawn by Kev Walker. Boom. So this is interesting. Rebecca Guay art cards. Sweet. Boros colored cards. Interesting. But that is a lot of cards. There's some people. Let's look up. There's someone with all the Grim Lavamancer collection. Someone's trying to get a Grim Lavamancer in like every single... Can I find it here? Oh, this is probably it. This is someone's, is this it? Let's go check this out. This person... Oh, I should make a dedicated YouTube video to this. Okay, let's enjoy somebody who has bought like every Grim Lavamancer, like every card type, every foil, every language.
And I said last week I would get an updated video of my Grim Lavamancer collection. So here we are. This is 216-ish Grim Lavamancers and over 850 Obstinate Familiar. So, Obstinate Familiar, I believe I've said in previous videos, inspired the creation of Grim Lavamancer. Because the flavor text...
And he has the Obstinate Familiar, which is the lizard that is on top of the Grim Lavamancer.
Is attributed to Maytok Lavamancer. And R&D thought, hey, a Lavamancer is a pretty sweet idea. Let's see what you can come up with. And then they created Grim Lavamancer. You can find that information on the Wizard's website. So there's a stacks of 100s right there. About 700, and then somewhere there, about 70 foils. And eventually I'm going to try to line up the cut lines I have on various foils and see what all spaces I have covered. Unfortunately, I didn't pick up one that has a cut line.
So something I didn't realize, this guy has multiples of the same card. I thought he was just only after one card, but he's like, no, we are buying out every foil of the Obstinate Familiar. And it looks like some Grim Lavamancers. It's got he's got like Beckett 9.5. Oh my god.
15 signed and numbered artist proofs by the artist. Therese.
Oh yeah, this is a Therese Nielsen special.
It was nice, and a nice little signed buy box Words Paradise note. I've got 4 German, a Japanese, and a Chinese over here. So I've got this broken up for the Lavamancers by language.
That's insane. Anyway,
kind of spread out.
It's just interesting to see that this is like, you know, collecting is not dead. You know, and we don't talk about really this stuff anymore. Like, people who legitimately collect the cards because they want to collect the cards. So, like, let's see what you guys have been putting out. Hold on, there was Super Chat. I have Phyrexian Portal from Alliances. Phyrexian Portal. You have 180 copies of Phyrexian Portal. You love your Phyrexian Portal. Is it reserved? It is part of the reserve list. You've got a plan. 3-mana. Target opponent looks at the top 10 cards of your library and separates them into 2 face-down piles. Remove one of those piles from the game. Search your other pile. Search the other pile for a card and put it into your hand. Well, you get 1 card, then shuffle your library. Play this ability only if your library has 10 or more cards in it. Oh my god. It's like the most bizarre fact or fiction. Did I remove one of those piles from the game. Search the other pile for a card. You only get one card. Target opponent. I don't know, that's weird. I don't know if this makes sense to me. Who search... So hold on, I have to look at the actual order text. If your library has 10 or more cards in it, target opponent looks at the top 10 cards of your library and separates them into 2 face-down piles. Exile one... So you exile one of those piles. Search... Who searches the other pile for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle the rest of that pile into your library? I don't know who searches the other pile. Is it you? So you like exile a pile and just take a card? Like, I don't really understand the function of this card because it doesn't matter how you separate the piles at all. It just doesn't change anything. I don't know if there's any portal cards on the reserve list. Even the Oracle text is like, fuck it, do what you want. Because the card doesn't make any sense. You search? Yeah, I know. It's a weird. You search the pile. Search the other pile for a card. Put it into your hand. So, like, the point is, let's say you put it 2 piles. I want a card from this pile. I'll always say exile that pile, and I'll take the card. So it doesn't matter how you separate the cards. I will get the card that I want. And then half of those cards, half the stack of cards gets exiled. The other half goes back into my library. Oh, you don't get to look at the piles first. If your library has 10 or cards, exile. Oh, it says face down piles. Exile one of those piles. So it's like really random. Okay, interesting. Ah, that's the key. We don't get to look at the piles. Coffee crew awake this morning. Awesome stuff. Well, let's see. What do you guys collect? What do you... John Avon lands. Dragon cards, but Zodiac Dragon's really hard to find. Mr. KKL says, I guess most people collect Planeswalkers. You never know. Look, so this guy collects Holy Armor. Oh, Lord Magicus says that he sold a Grim Lavamancer misprint to the guy. Yeah, there's also a guy collecting every printing of Lightning Bolt. Oh, man, I'm writing this down. This sounds like a really good MTG video idea. People who collect. Gone Wild. MTG players who collect. There's a guy on Bolt. There's a guy on Grim Lavamancer. I think there's one other person out there that collects everything. I've been trying to collect the old Decklists players reward cards. That's a pretty sweet thing to collect, actually. Card collection tier list video when? Ether Revolt and Forward. Used to collect Avatar WoW back in the day. So what's interesting is you guys, a lot of you are collecting one particular card. I own at least one of each Vampire and Sorin card. I used to collect Chandra since I wanted to have all the arts and cards of her, but I've eventually stopped after Magic got more expensive here in general. Oh, where's the music? We gotta get our music back. The music is back. Looks like my Ornithopter collection. My brother would be very envious of your collection. Witherfang. Robert collects Headless Horsemen and Grave Robbers. Steven says original full art foil Zendikar lands. Alright, you guys actually have a lot of great... I saw a few others. Or I saw a good chunk of others. You guys have great collections. Alright, it's time. You know what time it is, people? Some of you know what time it is. It's time for Decklist review. So if you want your 75... If you want your 75 to get reviewed by the Coffee crew and myself, go into my description. There is a link to my Discord. In my Discord, there is a channel called Decklist Review. And then in Decklist Review, enter the command !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list. Gotta give me a URL. And you'll be eligible at random for Decklist Review. Nick Lopez says, overall, I don't collect because I make decks. We could say I collect decks, though. Currently have, like, what, 7 to 18 decks? Not sure when we could call it a collection. Yeah, are you a Commander player? Commander players love building decks. They have, like, 1 million decks. You ask a modern player, they got like 2 or 3 decks. You know, modern players, they got a toolbox, if anything. They don't have decks. They've got the play sets of Liliana the Veils, and they have play sets of all the fetch lands and the shock lands, and they got the staples, the cryptic commands, the snapcaster mages, and I guess now like the Ragavans and stuff. They don't have decks. But commander players, they have decks. They got piles of decks. They got like a stack 100 here, stack 100 there, stack 100. They collect those $100 stacks, or stacks of 100. I despise commander, no questions asked. Oh, here we go. We've got the person buying all the secret layers. We got Joe. I collect the secret layers. Witherfang also has a Delver of Secrets collection. Well, here's the. Do you collect the sealed booster boxes, or are you basically investing in the sealed booster boxes? Because I see when people are getting the. I mean, maybe you actually literally collect it because you just want to have one of every sealed booster box. But a lot of people, you usually buy it because it's like sort of a semi-investment. This is a very weird collection thing to collect, Casper. That is a banned card. I guess it's still good in Legacy. Okie dokie, let's go look at some deck lists. We've got You're the Best. Cheesy Rats Control. Pauper? No, it's for Modern. I know there's a rat deck in Pauper. Oh, you dirty. Oh, I love the flavor here. Dothy Voidwalker is a dirty rat. Dirty rat. Tidebinder Mage Collection Showcase when? It's hard to showcase it on Magic the Gathering Online because all it is a big stack with a big number on it. Okay, we got Burglar Rat. When Burglar Rat enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Dothy Voidwalker, Chittering Rats, ETB. Target opponent puts a card from his or her hand on top of his or her library. That's actually a beating. That's so annoying, but it is more powerful in like because you could put some cards in the graveyard to help feed graveyard synergies, but the fact that you put on top of the deck is very brutal. Skull Collector. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a black creature you control to its owner's hand. And Grief. Fatal Push. Malakir Rebirth. Thoughtseize. Unearth. Eradicate. Aether Vial. Oh, that's interesting. So you're playing Aether Vial in this deck. Scrying Sheets in combination with the Snow-Covered Swamps. And what do you use Urza Saga in here for? Anything? You have nothing to get. Aether Vial is not good enough. Don't play Urza Saga. I would say just play a rat. Like, play Mutavault. It acts like a rat. Also, we're missing the big rat. Yeah, where's Pack Rat on this list? Pack Rat is actually amazing. Pack Rat is actually a super underrated card in Modern. This card can take over. It can still take over. I think this card would be great. You, like, activate Vial at end of turn, put a Pack Rat in play, spend 3 mana, discard a card, put another Pack Rat in play. I think that's pretty powerful. Take out Grief. It actually has no business in this deck at all. None. This is a garbage card. Yeah, you dirty Voidwalker. Yeah, Pack Rat is game winning. This is like the best rat, I think, in the game. This is probably the best rat in the game. So get your Pack Rat. So get rid of Grief. It actually has no business in this deck at all. Replace Urza Saga, I guess, with Mutavault. I don't get it. Oh, maybe you do it for the sideboard. Interesting strategy. I've never tried this. Okay, I will let you do it, but I'm still sus. I'm still a little sus, because you only have 20 lands, which means when you play Urza Saga, it's gonna be hard to even activate this on a regular basis to get the Golem creature. And you don't even have many artifacts in your deck. I'm gonna say, I think you should... Grief equals discard theme. If you want a discard theme, you gotta play like Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek. Grief is a 2-for-1. It's not good enough, in my opinion. Like, if you want to play this other stuff, whatever. Why are we even playing this Ogre? It's not a rat. the beginning of your upkeep, return a black creature you control to its owner's hand. Regenerates skull. There's gotta be something better than this. How is this a rat deck when there's not even that many rats? I don't think it's a rat deck, just saying. Okay. Either way, Grief is a 2-for-1. This is better in combo decks, not a deck that's trying to grind out the opponent. Like, you're going to discard more cards from yourself than you discard from your opponent. Pack Rat is good. Is there not, like, a land that brings creatures back from the graveyard? I don't remember. Fail Push is okay. Oh, you have a lot. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You do have a lot of land. Malakir Rebirth is a land, so you actually have 24 lands. This is not the greatest card, though. Until end of turn, that creature has, whenever it dies, return to the battlefield. Thoughtseize, Unearth. I think you have too many of these effects. So get rid of Unearth. Play like, you need more removal, actually. You're pretty... Your interaction turn 1 is not that great. Remove target non-black creature from the game. This is Modern legal? Searches controller's graveyard, hand, or library for all copies of that card. Yeah, just remove this. This is 4 mana. Too late. Too slow. No good. The sideboard is okay. Sideboard is actually okay. So Eradicate. You sort of need more creatures. Because I don't know how, I don't even know how you win the game. You can win with Pack Rat. So we have Crypt. Like, you could live with 20 creatures, but it's not a very strong. Crypt Rat deals X damage to each creature, and each player spend only black mana on it. Well, I think you're just going to kill this thing. What about Piper of the Swarm? We need some win conditions here, people. Can we have rat? Oh, rats you control have Menace. Create a 1/1. I think this is a bit clunky for Modern. Yeah, well, Malakir is okay. It can be a tapped land because it's just our extra lands. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we got to remove Grief. Well, we'll remove Grief for Pack Rat, but then we're going to remove the Unearth and the Eradicate for another creature. At least one more creature. Draw step, Chittering Rats, then pick it up with Skull Collector. This actually, you know what? The more I'm reading this, this is a terrible card. Because you actually don't want to bounce your cards. Because it sounds cool. Oh yeah, I'm going to bounce my Chittering Rats and then replay it and get more value. No, you just tempo yourself out. It's terrible. It's terrible. We can't play... Well, we can't play Lurrus as a companion, but we can play it as a creature, I guess. Slumlord. Oh, it's way too expensive. That actually would be pretty cool. Cats and rats. Rotting Register is not bad. That's actually a good take. This deck... Well, no, it actually... The way they're doing it, they sort of want it. Because they got Skull Collector, so they bounce things back and they want to replay them immediately. Maybe we should just play Grey Merchant. I mean, we got 24 lands in the deck, so it's not unreasonable. Marrow-Gnawer? Gnawer? All rats have fear. You know what? For 5 mana, I would rather play Grey Merchant. The A. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. It's 5 mana, but the payoff is enormous. Because when it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to their life lost this way. And you could reasonably take this up with Vile and get this thing in play. And also, this would be a pretty good... This is actually not a bad card to bounce back to your hand and replay it. It's actually not that bad. Like, that's fucking... That would be a huge beating. You have the Skull Collector and you keep playing your Grey Merchant every single turn until your opponent's dead. Okay, so I don't know if this is the best replacement, but play Gray Merchant instead of this Unearth and Eradicate. And with 24 lands, I think you can reasonably cast this thing. What is Stronghold Rats? There's a lot of rats in this game. Shadow. Whenever Stronghold Rats deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. I didn't know that there was more than one Shadow creature in Modern. I thought Shadow just barely existed or didn't exist. It's okay. It's okay. I think at 3 mana though, it's competing with everything else. And there's what? Conjurer's Closet? At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. I think it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But anyway, those are my suggestions. Pack Rat, Gray Merchant instead of this stuff. Gray Merchant you could replace with something else, but I know these 4 cards. This Unearth thing is overkill. You have Malakir Rebirth already. And maybe, like, I know it doesn't work the same way, but Unearth is not the greatest, in my opinion. Or you can cut. Get rid of this thing. I don't like it. And Bisasa versus Saga. Maybe it's good. Maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. But thank you for submitting the deck list. You never know what you'll see on Decklist review. Rising Flames 180. Congratulations. You're the next contestant on Decklist review. We've got Domain and Consolidate. I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. Okay. Oh, so it might be a smart zoo deck. Because it's like a zoo deck, but it has Ragavan in that. And I can definitely get behind it. Okay, Wrenn and 6, 2 Teferi Time Raveler. You might want to swap it. I think, okay, Teferi. Like, Teferi is pretty good right now because of the Cascade decks. So, I mean, it has a place too, I guess. Ragavan, Snapcaster Mage, Territorial Kavu, General Feroris Rokirik, and Sign of Draco. I'm surprised you value this more than the other cards. Because I might want more General Feroris than I want Sign of Draco. We've got Prismatic Ending, Thoughtseize, Expressive Iteration, and Tribal Flames, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, and Kolaghan's Command. I'll tell you what I really like about your deck is that you didn't get into this. Everyone was building this deck that was like, I gotta have every card, it has to be a multicolor spell in order to pull off General Feroris Rokirik. And you're like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. We can play with some monocolor cards. It's okay. We can play with Thoughtseize. We can play with Prismatic Ending. We can play with Lightning Bolt. You know, Territorial Kavu, strong card. So, but why do we have to build our whole deck around like Lightning Helixes and Manamorphose? You know what I mean? And Shardless Agent. We still got some of that stuff going on here. 22 lands, Engineer Explosive, Alpine Moon, Prismatic Ending, Ancient Grudge, Kataki's War's Wage, Rest in Peace, Void Mirror. I might just want one more like Wrenn and 6 in the sideboard because Wrenn and 6 is still valuable, right? Or maybe not in this deck because you could like, oh no. What do you guys think? Well, I don't think this deck has the mana base for Phyrexian Obliterator. Oh yeah, so yeah, maybe it's for budget reasons it's like this. Are there any notes? Never any notes on Moxfield. Feroris is stronger and can really go off because the opponent never grab it with Thoughtseize. I'm curious to know how much lag people have that they're still talking about like the old deck. Expressive Iteration is good enough to warrant a playset. You know what's one problem with Expressive Iteration in this deck? And maybe it doesn't belong. You get to exile one of them and you can play that card until you can play the exiled card this turn. Expressive Iteration works really well with mana efficient decks. like 1 mana, 2 mana spells. But this actually is not that mana efficient. We've got like Sign of Draco might be cheap, but we've got a lot of 3-drops, and it's heavily on 2-drops. And we have like 3-drops, heavily on 2-drops, not as many 1-drops. So I actually might want to go less Expressive Iteration and more like Lightning Helix, Thoughtseize, Prismatic Ending, or even a General Frost Rokiric. I know that takes out more multicolor spells for this card, but this is going to be hard to get the value out of it. I think very often you're going to play it, and then you might not be able to play like the 2-drop. You might. Maybe I'm wrong. There's enough 1-drop. There is a lot of 1-drops in this deck. Why can't they make you discard? They can. Yeah, he doesn't have Squad in hand. They can discard the General Ferroris. The General Furus. I don't think this deck has enough creatures for a Tarkus command. Actually, maybe it does. Maybe it does. But it's not mandatory. Okay, I would say, like, I don't have any big deal with this deck, to be honest, the way that it's built. I might want another General, just because it's good. It's like, it's a really powerful creature. It might be the most powerful creature in this deck. So, like, take out something. You could trim anything, really, for another General Furus. And your sideboard, Engineer, Explosive, Alpine Moods, Prismatic Ending, Ancient Grudge, Kataki's War's Wage, Rest in Peace, Voidmere. Everything's pretty okay. Are we suggesting 14 fetches, or there are 14 fetches here? Arid Mace, 3, 4, 5, 13. There's 13 fetches here. 3, 4. Is that a deal breaker? Is anyone like a super expert on mana bases? This looks okay to me, but I could be wrong. It's a 22 land deck. I think you need more Triumph to make Sign work. I only see... well, that's all you need, right? Because you just fetch it out. You fetch it out turn 1. You only need 1 Triumph. In my opinion. I mean, you could play a second one, I guess. Geo says maybe too much fetch. I think the idea is that you have 14... Well, we do have 14 Triomes by turn 1, which is important for Sign of Draco and the Territorial Kavu. So we have 13 fetches, 1 Triome. We are very likely going to have that Triome turn 1. Anyway, I think that's it. Like, you know, good luck with the list. It's not that bad. I don't think there's a bit, like, I think this card should be leaned on a little bit more. Not too much, because you have a lot of monocolor cards, but, you know, you could lean on a little bit more. Yeah, 1 Triumph plus 1 Shock is 5 basic land types. That's all we need. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for showing up. If you want to see the replay, check it out at Nikachu MTG Streams, my stream channel. If I didn't get to your comments, questions, or deck list, hey, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you'd love to support Coffee and MTG and you don't do so already, you can drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can become a patron at patreon.com/NikachuMTG. Or you can hit the join button on YouTube. Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up today. Good luck with your collections. Everyone's collection buying. Hey, Coffee Crew, you stay sharp. Get them collections, and I will see you next time.